2029, 2 years before the Red Race begins. 2 years before a single drop of human sweat hits the Martian dust. We talk about the first footprint. We romanticize the human grit. But before the heroics, there was the silence. And before the silence, there was the scream. Before the first human footprint finally hits the Martian dust, there was the scream of automated engine. This is the Pathfinder. It has no pilot to pray. It has no lungs to gasp. It only has a mission: land, survive, build. If it fails, the humans who follow aren't explorers. They're ghosts arriving at a graveyard. Welcome to the Red Planet. The machines have arrived, and the war against a dead world has just begun. This is the Vanguard fleet. While the world watched the billionaires' press conferences and the political bickering of the 2031 crew selection, these ships were launched in the dark. 48 autonomous vessels, no life support, no windows, no snacks, just raw, industrial power. The logistics were a nightmare of physics. You can't bring a city to Mars. It's too heavy. It's too expensive. So, you bring the seed. The Vanguard ships were designed to be cannibalized. Their outer shells, high-grit titanium 4, radiation shielding. Their fuel tanks, pressure vessels for oxygen storage. Their landing legs, structural pillars for the first bunkers. The mission was simple, yet impossible. Create a high-stakes survival outpost using nothing but the red dirt under their treads. This is in situ resource utilization. ISRU. The harvesters grind Martian regolitha, razor sharp dustin, mix it with a polymer binder brought from Earth. They are 3, deep rinding a fortress. Layer by layer, hour by hour. These autonomous ghosts are weaving a cocoon for humanity. They are building the 3 deep-printed bunkers you saw in 2031, but they are doing it alone. 140 million miles from anyone who cares if they break. 10 Comite silent years. Between 2029 and 2031, Mars fought back. We often forget that Mars is a dead world, but it is a violent one. Solar flares lashed the planet with radiation that would turn a human's DNA into static. For the machines, it meant digital loneliness. When a solar flare hits, the AI doesn't just glitch, it hallucinates. Code corrupts. Vanguard 4, the ship responsible for the main life support hub, suffered a massive memory wipe during the Great Storm of 30. For 3 weeks, it sat in the dark. It forgot its mission. It forgot why it was there. It was just a hunk of metal screaming into the vacuum. We began to see something unexpected in the telemetry. We call it emergent behavior. To us, it looked like grit. The ships began to prioritize each other's survival. When Unit 74 was buried in a slip trench, Unit 75 spent 4 days digging it out, depleting its own battery to 2% to save its partner. There were no medals for them. No parades. Just the cold calculation that the outpost must be ready. By the end of the 2nd year, the Ghost Fleet was a patchwork of scars. They were no longer the pristine machines that left Earth. They were Martian now. Battered, dust-clogged, but standing. Why does this matter? Why focus on the machines? Because in 2031, when Tiares-1 enters the Martian atmosphere, the crew won't be looking at their instruments. They'll be looking for a light in the dark. If Vanguard 4 hadn't survived that solar flare, if Unit 75 hadn't dug out its partner, the humans arrive to a graveyard. If the autonomous ships fail, the Red Race ends before the first step. There is no human grit if there is no air to breathe. There is no survival if the bunkers haven't been pressurized for 6 months. The machines won Mars so that we could have a chance to live there. They are the unsung pioneers, the martyrs of the Red Planet. They did their job. They waited in the cold. They fought the dust. And now they wait for their creators to come and claim the victory. The Red Race is about to begin. The humans will get the glory. They'll get the history books. They'll get the names on the maps. But the Ghost Fleet, they'll just be part of the foundation. Literally. We are chronicling every step of the 2031 mission, from the silicon brains of the Vanguard to the human hearts of the Red Race. If you want to be there when the first boot hits the dust, you need to be part of this crew. But before we go, think about those 2 years of silence. If an AI ship fails on Mars after fighting a solar flare for weeks just to save an oxygen tank, is it just a technical glitch, or is it a casualty of war? Let me know in the comments. Would you trust your life to an automated landing, or does human grit require a human at the controls?